they didn't get out ahead of it, I think he said at one point. I find that a disturbing note at this point. We have disease all over this country, so we need to have a global team sharing information regularly, trusting each other. We're working toward a vaccine, which will be a global effort to get people vaccinated when a vaccine finally comes online. So we need to start talking about how to cope with this, how to know what's going on in the United States. What we don't want, I think, is countries to turn around and say...
So here's Catherine Sebelius, Obama's girl, right? From the
disease as anybody.
HS, whatever the hell it was, for Homeland Security, or... I mean, these people kill me. The typical knee-jerk liberal. No matter what Trump does, it's not enough. We should end this with global cooperation, okay? We can't get this country to cooperate with itself. Half of the people in this country have been fixated on false FISAs and impeachment. Bullshit, which is what it was for 3 years now. We spent hundreds of millions of dollars on folly. The liberal Democrats knew what it was. And see, God doesn't miss it. But here we have the liberal wing, like Sorkin here. This tall, skinny lib operatic on CNBC who drives Joe Kernan absolutely nuts. And last night, again, Trump should have done this. Trump should have done that. Sebelius, Trump shouldn't be knocking the Europeans and telling them they didn't get out in front of this. So, but we should have more communication. We should hear more from the CDC. We shouldn't panic, but we should tell the people what a disaster it is. Hey, the Titanic is going down. Don't panic. Women and children to the lifeboats. Don't panic. Men, you're going down with the ship, but don't panic. We hit an iceberg, but we didn't want to tell you. Globalization caused this. People like this scumbag Sebelius, like Obama, like Bill and Hillary, that made so much money in Walmart. You know, we know China's going to be good. How about Joe Biden? Dirty Joe Dirt Biden. No, China's not our enemy. China's not our problem. And you stupid Americans, when Monica Lewinsky was splashed all over the headlines in this country, and all we heard about is windy Bill, his windy employment for his heat-seeking moisture missile, that's all we heard about. The salacious, filthy details that infected your children, who are today in their late 20s and 30s and 35 years old. This is what they grew up with. And you know what isn't sex? I never had sexual relations with that woman, Miss Monica Lewinsky. Oh, indeed I did, right? And the left still loves them. Ahab, Billy, and Jezebel Hillary. And the left loves them. So they put us in bed with China. And now you're tied to a 400-foot fat woman, 400-pound fat woman. They got a rope around her ankle. She's named China. And the other end of the noose is around your neck. 97% of your medicine comes from Chicoms. Okay? They make our military parts for our fighter aircraft. Did you know that? And then America wants to know, wow, how are they knocking off our equipment so easily? Before this story got big, they arrested professors at MIT and Harvard. What were they doing? Oh, they worked in a biochem lab. And who were they cavorting with? China. Where'd that story go? Not a word. Because the libtard high altar is education, education. Consider this. This is how perverted America is. Let me help you, because America is ignorant and illiterate. Perversion, the root concept of perversion is inversion. When a man wants to be a woman, when a cat wants to be a dog, okay? To invert reality is a perversion. Harvard was started by Jesuits. Those same Jesuits started Yale from Harvard. How far have we strayed? Okay? The first textbook in the United States for public schools was the Bible. The printing company was the United States Congress. Separation of church and state. Really? For all you illiterate morons that don't know your history, that was a one-way concept. At no time will the state tell anybody how or what to do in their church, how to worship, how to pray, how to observe their God. That was it. But at no time was the state to tell a church to do anything. But the church had the right to imbue its morality on the society all the time. Let me say it again. The government, shut your mouth. People's religious rights are their own. The church, never stop talking. Never stop sharing your opinion. Now, for all you liberals that can't handle that, that was the construct of separation of church and state. But you don't like that, you say. Well, go to Venezuela or go to China. You know, those people who brought you Costco and Walmart. Watch the special on Costco's illicit drug purchasing through the Canadian government. Okay? They call it the Department of Pharmacy or some bullshit in Ottawa. And what do? They demand kickbacks from all their drug suppliers. And by the way, where do all those drugs come from? Oh, that's right, China. So when a lot of you are dying in your older years and you can't get medicine like your father and mother got, remember this, because if we don't bring this stuff back to America under the absolute auspices of national security, right, then you're begging to get slaughtered. The Chinese could turn off the pipeline today, and you won't see an antibiotic in this country for months. But you were okay with that because you got the Hillary and Billary cheap tube sops and underwear from China. It was so good, you know. And hell, Hillary sat on the board at Walmart when we did all this, and we just made a fortune. And by the way, when you were all talking about me and my windy employment with Monica and trying to embarrass me in front of the whole world, at that very same time, almost to the hour, I was selling guidance gyros to the Chinese communists so they could get to space. Oh, is that what it was for, Bill? For their rockets to go to space? No, it was for their ballistic missiles. But stupid America. And I remember women in my industry. I didn't vote for a pope. I voted for a president. His sex life is private. Really? A public president in a public house with a public employee. Well, Sadie, I hope your husband gets caught doing the same thing. And then let's see how private that should be when you take him to court and sue him for everything because he brought home a communicable disease to you. The hypocrisy in this country, the absolute rebellious hypocrisy, is the underliner and benefactor of everything that's undoing us right now. And you see, you want to be a pervert? You want to pervert your system? You think it's Jake and okay to put the biggest capitalist economy in the hands of communists? You stupid Americans who let this happen? I've been screaming, there's Sorkin. There he is, Comrade Sorkin. Da 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 da. Every day, this communist bastard working for Goldman Sachs. You know how many millions this piece of shit makes? Millions! Mr. Sorkin! Mr. Sorkin! Yeah. And there's poor Joe, a patriotic American who has to suffer the indignity of sitting across knowing everything this libtard rat is going to say before he forms it on his lips. I know that feeling. I've dealt with it my whole life. And at 64 years old, I'll deal with it no more. Any one of you liberals that want to pollute my brain with your nonsense, you're going to eat my left fist. I warned you, my left fist. That's what I hit with. So you be warned, because I don't want to hear your shit. You're too stupid. And when you're not stupid, you're debauched. You celebrated your drug culture. You celebrated destroying your mental capacity, and you want to infect the world with your bloody, polluted opinion. I'll have none of it. None of it! I don't want to hear it. You've destroyed everything this country was good at and stood for. And this is what you wanted. But before it happens, before the last ceiling tile falls, there will be a recompense, a reckoning. There will be. So for all you shumers, okay, you watch what's